badass, book badass. You little badass, you little badass, book club badass. Welcome to the show.
Hey, Boogies.
Hey, Baddies.
We're here.
And we're here.
And it's a great time because we're recording a little bit later in the day than normal.
Mhm.
So, it's going to be extra fun and just prepare for the misinformation.
Yeah. It's a big deal these days, so we're proud to
We're
represent.
We're trending. I'm off book talk as far as picking which books, but now
Yep.
we're just trending concepts.
And we're totally chill.
Yeah.
Maybe you could hear it in our voice if you're listening, but if you're watching, it's a vibe, I think. And I'm vibing with our vibe.
Yeah.
Vibing.
We're just vibing it up.
We're vibing it up. And boy, that's a good thing because
The book?
So many emotions. Like, first of all, if anybody had been inspired by us and our selection, The Buffalo Hunter, I'm not going to say that you shouldn't have been. It's an excellent book.
Such a good book.
Such a good book, and we're going to get into that. However, if you threw up a little bit either in your mouth or outwardly on your bed or wherever you were sitting while reading this, then I apologize. How's that?
You just reminded me of a story I didn't actually tell you. I think
Oh, wait, what? Okay, go on. Let me
maybe
sip.
I'll just say it now without getting too much into the book.
Yes.
But you had texted a little bit of a warning because
Ugh.
I was behind. Katie had started, where we left off, and
Yeah.
I hadn't picked it up yet. I was really into my new book, which I'm excited to talk about.
Mm-mm-mm.
So one day this weekend, I put the audiobook on and I went out to run some errands. And I was just having one of these days where sorry, spoiler alert about me. Sometimes I just stress eat fast food. And I think that's a totally common human experience.
Okay, Ashley. Okay, trending.
Yeah,
Hashtag
exactly.
trending.
I'm so on topic. So
Wait. I have to know. What is your go-to?
Okay, well, this is also
Is this
exciting.
too intimate?
No, I'm
Okay.
going to include it all. So I had to go to the storage unit to pick something up, and then I had to go to the grocery store as well.
Yeah.
So I thought, what better thing than to drive about 15 minutes
Mhm.
out of my way,
Mm-hmm.
not sponsored, and nobody likes this place, but to Burger King. Because there are no Burger Kings around me.
Interesting.
But I just had this hankering, and I blame my...
Childhood core memory unlocked.
Okay, well, actually, if we're just going to tell some stories, I used to work at Joann's Fabrics in college, and in that parking lot, there was a Burger King and a Panda Express. So I became the burger queen. Talk about freshman 40.
Here's the thing, though. I saw you when you were a freshman. There was no such thing as 40 for you. But she was one of the lucky ones, everybody.
30.
But
Let's just say I
they're
discovered...
chicken finger fries or whatever.
Oh, so
they're the
good.
only buddy. They're the only buddy.
They are the only buddy who has
Does
chicken
that-
fries, and they're so good.
They got this spice. It's crack cocaine.
Yeah, no, it is good.
Spice
so
up your life.
I'm again,
BK.
whatever. I'm the type of person who gets McChickens.
Thank
No,
you.
I get the things nobody gets.
Mm.
So I got a long OG
I
chicken
love this.
sandwich.
Yeah.
But the
Oh,
point
the long
is,
ones.
yeah,
Because they can't make them round.
no,
Uh-huh.
I don't know.
I love it.
So anyway, I drove way out of my way to
Mhm.
go there,
Mhm.
and then I'm listening to the audiobook, and I knew the morning and
no.
everything, but I was just having such a day that I needed this fast food.
Oh.
I kind of in my head knew I wasn't going to feel really good after it anyway, but it was just this thing. I don't drink anymore. I'm having the chicken sandwich.
Yeah.
So I drive over there, and the timing is just lining up really perfectly. And I'll say
Actually.
more specifically what scene, when we get to it, but let's just say it was
Oh.
a little bit more of a stomach turning scene. It didn't stop me, folks. It didn't stop me. I didn't turn off the audiobook. I thought about switching to my other. I'm like, no, I'm just going to get through this sandwich and this.
And that's why she's hardcore, everybody.
And that's why.
Everybody needs one of these in a friendship, right? You have the solid person who can handle anything, and then you have the little pussy.
I literally had to get on the freeway to get to this place, and I'm just to Burger King, and I'm just
Uh-huh.
thinking as I'm entering the freeway, it's getting to a part where I know it's going to be gruesome, and then I'm remembering your warning, and the whole thing is
Yeah.
just so perfectly lined up that I was like, okay, whatever, this is happening.
If Burger King did want to sponsor us, though, think about that. Burger King and books. There's just
I
a little
like
ring
that.
to it. I'm trying to make eye contact with whoever's in marketing
Hey
for
guys,
them.
we're
Could
ready.
you imagine the next time it's Wayne's World, we're wearing gear,
All
we have,
chicken fries
chicken
are in the
fries.
mugs.
So so good.
You know they have tacos there? Like, honestly, I'm
what?
already hired.
Okay.
Maybe I should apply there.
Wow.
But
You know
anyway.
what though? I forgot about that. But maybe because, like you said, you have to drive a little ways to get there.
Yeah, they're not, honestly, and it's like not really that. I mean, it's great.
Mhm.
I drove there,
Yeah.
but it's just not one. If you're going to like,
Here's the thing. Everybody's got a
splurge on-
dirty pleasure.
Exactly.
Everybody's got one of
Yeah.
those, you know?
And it's the kind of thing too for me. I mean, I grew up on fast food, so like it's just where I go when I need peace.
Yeah.
And for some reason that day, Burger King just sounded right, and it was okay.
Yeah.
Honestly, again, I knew it wasn't going to be the best thing ever. It was just fine.
I'm going to out her in another way, but Casey's is McDonald's.
Oh, tell me about
I
it.
mean, the fries,
Yeah.
you know, but
Nathan's
sometimes,
too, my
yeah,
son.
well, the toys
Yeah.
alone are
Yes,
worth the trip.
he doesn't really like much else.
When I think about it, though, I'm a milkshake girl.
So
a
do you
Mc-
In and Out
a McFlurry's good,
Oh,
but
okay.
I don't think In-N-Out's
milkshakes.
splurging. In-N-Out's a
Okay,
regular
that's how I
go-to.
feel about McDonald's. If we're being honest, I think Nathan and
Okay.
I had McDonald's like twice in the last 2 weeks.
Amazing. Okay,
Yeah.
but they've upped their game. Like it's, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
When
Yeah.
they're starting to get healthier.
Sure.
You know?
Yeah, I was on a
How-
Taco Bell kick
so-
for a while, and I
okay.
just couldn't keep up.
Well, okay, so that's the thing. If I'm going real splurge, it's Taco Bell.
Yeah.
And if I want to purge, it's also Taco Bell.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
is the next shirt.
I love it.
I used to be so anti Taco Bell. I mean, we can wrap this story up because I might be getting hungry,
You
but
want to talk about books?
yeah. I just was such a loyal Del Taco, which is not, it's a
I
regional
still
place.
am.
Yeah, and so that would be like my go-to for whatever, and then Taco Bell was
If
always
you
the
live in
treat.
Canada, we're just talking about fast food.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
But anyways, I kept on trucking with
Oh, right.
the
Okay.
Buffalo Hunter,
Thanks,
and
Ashley.
I honestly think that we should start with this because, like, let's put a pin in that.
And then we have a game.
yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Yes, and a game.
And you know what? This will probably take the majority of our time because not only is it a fairly thick book, however, it was rather a fast read, I'd say.
It was.
And Ashley nailed it with the audiobook, you guys. It's wonderfully narrated by 3 different people, I think.
I think so.
At least 2, but I think it's 3. And it was applauded for the voice actors.
Yeah.
Rightfully so. And if you start that route and you get them stuck in your head, then when you read it, those voices
Carry over.
at least for me.
Yeah.
However, I didn't like the pacing as much. And you had recommended, I'm pointing to Ashley if you can't see,
Yes.
1.2, 1.3. And that was the perfect pace for me and keeping my attendance, my focus to it.
I needed it for Arthur. I
Yeah.
probably could have slowed down for a good stab, but at
Mhm.
that point, I'm like, I'm not going to switch it back and forth.
Yeah.
But yeah, for me, once I made that little change,
Yep.
Arthur was a lot more swallowable. There's probably a better word for that, but
whoop.
I was able to listen for longer.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
Staying power.
Yeah.
I have a thought. Why don't we first share if we'd recommend it,
Okay.
then we could get into it, and then we'll revisit the idea of recommending.
Okay.
How's that sound?
That sounds great.
Okay, your opinion first, because
Okay.
it matters more to me.
Well, so like with most all historical fiction, I loved it. However, it is just like it feels a little bit like homework sometimes. Like it feels like it would be a great companion. And I'm talking about all historical fiction that I've read, not
Yeah.
just the Buffalo Hunter. But they always leave me feeling like, wow, that would have been such a great companion piece to like a college class that I took or something like that. Like that would have
Yeah.
been so fun to have alongside like some real history, like just to bring everything together.
Love that.
This particular book obviously had the horror aspect as well, and I really liked that. I really liked the ways, and we'll talk about how it really amped up there towards the end, how the horror it was more horrific than the beginning. But my final answer is I would recommend it. I do like it, but just like the caveat with all historical fiction, like just be prepared to not have to rush through it. It's great in little doses. It's such good writing. I really, really, and after listening to the acknowledgments, you really get to hear like how much is attributed to other people's input and
Right.
just like things like that. I found that to
Being
be really
respectful.
interesting that the author was so honest with just like how many people like just in stories and things like that
He seems
contributed.
down to earth too.
He seems really cool.
Yeah.
But it is not going to be for everybody.
Nope.
And there are some really dark, honestly, it wasn't even the gruesome parts for me. It was just like the sad parts that were really hard
Yeah.
to get through. He writes sadness and sorrow so well. But I just really feel like you need to be in the mood for that. And
Yeah.
you need to be able to step away from it, I
Oh,
think.
yeah.
Because we're doing it for book club, it did kind of feel like, okay, I have to get through this. I would have taken way longer if
Well,
we weren't talking
And
about
even
it.
then, I really appreciated there were moments throughout the week where like we would text kind of like, hey, where you at?
Yeah.
And I would just be like, I had to step away.
Yeah.
I just had to step away. I'm going to hit it back either later today
Yeah.
or tomorrow
Mhm.
or so I would definitely agree with you on that.
I think at the end
Have
of the
time for
day, yes. At the end of the day, I'm happy that we went with it. I'm happy
Mhm.
it's something that I've read. I thought it was really cool, just the whole idea. I'd be interested in other stuff that he's written as well, but
Yeah.
Stephen Graham Jones. But it was a lot.
Yeah, and you're talking about the acknowledgments briefly. Did you catch that it wasn't necessarily going to be a horror book?
Yeah.
He just had this idea kind of come to him and then it kind of evolved into a horror,
Yeah.
which I think is interesting because like you said, he's naturally gifted with his ability to go into those dark places of emotion,
Mhm.
which is not about being a scary book. That's more of a trope for horror,
Yeah.
right? Like getting down under your skin into what you're feeling. And for that reason, I agree it's well written. I'm not sure I'd recommend this to all of the readers out there.
Right.
I think it's important that you look at different reviews, you feel what's good for you. We're going to get into it a little bit and then you take that and you think, okay, the girls say that it's well written. I'm down. I want to go on this journey. I want to go on this adventure. I want to have this experience. But this experience is definitely not for everybody.
No, it's just dark in so
Yeah.
many different ways.
Yeah, unlike very in contrast to Grady Hendrix, which was, it was something that anybody I think could bite.
Yeah.
But this is a specific person.
Yeah.
I think you learn a lot about yourself.
Yeah.
And I'm going to start by just saying one of two things. Okay. To me, it was so horrific in the sense of these oppressive powers that are targeting this individual and his people. And it wasn't just the westernization, it wasn't just the settlements and, the expansion and the destruction of a culture and everything that they stood for. I mean,
Mhm.
you would think, right? Like that's enough.
Right.
But then, and this is where the horror comes in, the aspect of this vampiric force who is also attacking him and is like, what? It's one of those things where it's like, what more can you take?
It is. It was just like, okay, so well, let's talk specifically, but
Yeah.
just onto that, you have like Catman's involvement in
Yeah.
this torture. You have what's going on to
Yes.
his peoples. And then you also have like this internal like
Yes.
connection to just like, I can't even articulate just the turmoil like on the inside of what's
Yes.
going on. Like you've got these outside things happening and then you've just got this like
Yes.
inner destruction.
There's like, and those are interesting in a way. That's a 3%. That's 3%.
Oh, that is
But
interesting.
in contrast,
Yeah.
But you're right. He has and we're talking about Good Stab. I would say the focal character, or the one who's being tortured. I mean, that's it.
Yeah.
He's being tortured by what's happening to his people, and it's gruesome. And then he's being tortured by this Catman, and it's gruesome. And then how he is emotionally responding to and taking responsibility of his place in the world over time is
Very heavy.
It is so, it
To
is
put it
so
lightly.
heavy, you guys. You
Yeah.
have to be able to handle it.
Yeah.
And I will say that it is some of the most grotesque scenes I've read or seen in entertainment.
Yeah, I thought a lot of Stephen King when I was reading some, and I mean, we might as well just get into specifics, but when
Okay.
I was reading into some like skin burning descriptions of smells.
The fat
Yeah.
popping,
Yeah.
but someone being so hungry that
That
they
it
might.
salivated.
Yeah.
Yeah. That just like if you've even just watched some Stephen King stuff, there is this sort of like darkness to humanity theme that
Oh,
pops up. And I
Yeah.
was like really feeling that. Like it wasn't just like a knife cutting something.
what a wonderful place that we've talked about this before in some of the historical fiction that you've read, where humanity is already so dark, and here you're making it darker.
Yeah.
It's like it's too easy almost, right?
Yeah.
Way to go, Stephen.
Both Stevens. So yeah, I don't know. That's our recommendation for now.
Yeah,
Do you
maybe.
Yeah. Yeah. A lot has happened. I don't know if we really need to summarize everything.
Okay, tell me your. Okay, how about this? The parts that stood out the most to you,
Mm-hmm.
and you. Wait, I think we have a segment called
Pros and Woes
with Ashley. and
Yeah, we didn't practice.
Katie.
Can you tell?
Can you tell?
Yeah, pros and woes with Ashley and Katie. So
Yeah,
I
yes?
have okay. Here's the thing
Okay,
about the last
yes.
third, just at overall at a glance.
Yeah.
The last third was like compared to the rest, action packed.
Oh my, yes.
So I know that I'm gonna say some pros and woes, and then you're gonna say some pros and woes, and I'm gonna be like, oh yeah, those were also pros and woes because
100%.
a lot happened.
Oh my, so much. Like honestly, like you said, after you get enough backstory, these books hit you hard.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So we certainly set the scene in the first two
Mhm.
thirds of this.
Yeah.
I'm not going to get into detail, but definitely pro.
Wait.
I love the
Wait,
ending. I'm not
wait,
going to talk about it.
Wait.
But
No.
what?
Ashley.
What?
Okay,
No.
you should.
Okay.
I'll bring it up anyways. But your predictions were right, girl.
I knew something was going on with Arthur. I mean, why else are we here?
Surprise, surprise. Okay, pros.
Okay, but again, if we want to talk about predictions, I didn't have it all right. But my pros, I liked the ending. I liked what happened with Arthur. It was so weird and for me out of left field, but then not. I just didn't
liked it.
expect that. No, I didn't. I mean, I would have never written that. I would have never thought of that. I thought it was very original and like still original.
I mean, didn't we say she was going to meet her great granddad again?
Yes. So like even
I
okay.
didn't expect that way though.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to talk specifics and it might be confusing if you didn't read this, but like just as a Catman, vampire, whatever person, if you eat, and we did touch on this, if you eat so
I'm
much of
thankful
one
for you for that because that went right over my head.
well, you would have found it
I
because
mean,
you
true.
couldn't avoid it in
Yeah,
the
yeah,
second
yeah.
or this last part. But when you eat like whatever blood you're sucking, that's what you're turning into. So whether you're a native and you're sucking the blood of trappers and then you grow a beard like a trapper,
Mhm.
we talked about the antlers before. So a good way to stop one of these vampire people, whatever you want to call them, is to turn them into an animal that isn't going to
Mhm.
be able to get out of that state. So
Mhm.
to try to punish Goodstab, guess what? Spoiler alert, Catman comes back and he is meaner than ever.
Yeah.
But
Wicked.
yeah, so he's like torturing Goodstab in so many different ways.
Came over on the boat, very Dracula. You know,
Yeah.
how did vampires get to the West?
Like, just to talk about him really quick, I guess kind of a pro in the writing was Catman, like as this evil figure.
Yes.
Holy smokes, was he evil?
Yeah, wasn't just like a part of Native American culture or somebody who evolved and lived and mutated in the United States before it was the United States. No, he had come over.
He was 400 plus years old.
and had no value for life anymore.
Yeah, and he was just like any human,
Arrogant.
any living thing was not important.
That surprised me.
It surprised me. Now, when he attacked Goodstab and kept him
In
as like
cage under
a
the
prisoner,
water. Mhm.
yeah, that was very creepy. creative torture, but he
Mhm.
had been around for over 400 years. So
True.
props to Catman. But when I had a gasp moment was when Goodstab returns to the lodge, and who's in
Ugh.
charge? Catman. That
Mhm.
was a twist I wasn't expecting,
Ditto.
and it was disgusting.
It was. You know what? He was so good at giving you those parts that made you just want to punch something.
Yeah, so that's just obviously a
Yeah.
woe as a person, Catman,
Oh,
but
yeah.
a pro, like, with what Steven did with that whole thing, that was yucky.
You know what? You're right. I was so uncomfortable.
Yeah, I hated it.
I hated it and I
And
loved
Kills
it.
in Water, hated that whole situation, but
Oh
it was
my God.
really creative.
Oh my, yes. Ugh. And then when you're reading what Arthur did and you kind of knew it, but the scene, okay, sorry. It's your
No,
turn.
so those pretty
Yeah.
much, I guess I don't really have any real woes as far as like a critique on the book
Mm-hmm.
that I can think of.
Okay.
But pretty much all the situations in a certain way were woes, because I was just like, this keeps getting more terrible and more
Yeah.
terrible and more terrible.
Yeah.
But for me and the dark reading that I enjoy, it was, I guess, all
Fair enough.
pros. I'm trying to think of a woe, like a real actual woe that I found with the book, and nothing's coming to mind. Can you think of something and maybe I'll
Well,
agree with you?
I think it's interesting. I'm actually surprised that you enjoyed the ending. My least favorite character was the granddaughter.
Etsy,
yeah, the great-great-granddaughter. At first I was like, okay, she's cool, way to set it up. But then when she comes back after you've been stuck in the past, once you're in history and you're experiencing that, I didn't really care for her perspective anymore, unless it was going to be this big adventure. But then it was so short in comparison to what had developed that it seemed weaker to me. That would be my woe.
I could see that.
And in fact, it kind of inspired the game, which we'll get to later. And I mean, you know, once you described your affection for Arthur being changed and still alive, also that surprised me. At first, I was like, I wasn't quite sure because it was almost silly in comparison to how dark everything had gotten.
Did you feel like it was kind of cheesy?
A little bit.
I was just picturing it sort of like a movie, and like, how are we going to bring this back?
Yeah.
And I don't know. I just kind of like, I
Like,
felt
it
like
was
if we were
fine.
going to have to come to such a modern time,
Yeah.
like, why not just like be over the top with it?
Yeah.
I don't know. I liked it.
You know what? But see, that's what I like about book club.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, here's the thing: the ending wasn't horrible. It wasn't what I expected.
It was very unexpected.
It was very unexpected, and I think also I went between reading it and listening to it, and those are very different vibes.
Yeah.
I think when you read the ending, you can be more intimate with it. And it's less cheesy because you can absorb it.
Did you hear when she's recording herself? And
Yeah.
now we were like into graphic audio moments.
Yeah.
Okay. I can see that.
I kind of liked that, but it also was a little detracting. I don't know. That to me was kind of like, I didn't think her story was that important. And then to end with that as being the most important thing for me was it just fell a little short. But it wasn't that I didn't like it. So that would be one of my woes. But honestly, okay, I'm just gonna say it, guys. I talked with you about it before, Ashley. Me and my John Wick moment. Clearly.
Oh,
I get traumatized.
There was just so much to be traumatized by. Maybe I'm just like, fine.
Yeah. Well, and here's the thing though, like, you know, different people attached to different characters and things and whatnot. And here's the thing, right? So Goodstab's this vampire. He's gonna live longer unless he's killed in a specific way, I guess. But he's going to live longer than all of the people who would even die naturally.
Right.
Right? So you know that there's going to be a moment where things that he comes to cherish are going to be lost. But how? The brutality, and I spoke about it in the last episode, the brutality of the decimation of buffalo across the West, across the United States of America was absolutely horrific. And the waste and then the purposeful killing of a culture, knowing that the buffalo was sustenance for these people to survive off of, but also a cherished, beloved, sacred animal.
Mhm.
And if you're going to destroy a culture, what better way than to destroy that?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And they did, and then they poisoned it. And I'm talking about the humps,
Yeah.
the buffalo hunters, but also people who weren't hunting them, just wasting them. And it's so graphically described. And then you go, okay, wait, this is the historical part. Is that just the truth? And apparently it was quite truthful.
Yeah.
And who I am now and where we're at in a developed society, I think many of us should be able to look at that and go, that is gross.
Yeah.
And then the scene, you fall in love with Goodstab because he wants to protect his people in the way that he can, and he's trying to save these buffalo calves, and he has sequestered enough of these calves that have been abandoned because their moms and dads have been brutally murdered, and they're still alive when they're skinning them, many of them, okay? And that's described in detail. So that's kind of a woe for me because it's just hard to stomach.
Yeah.
But his beloved weasel plume.
Yeah.
And here's the thing, this is a spoiler, obviously, but I don't even know if I want to say it. It's just very graphic what the cat man did. Let's just say he was disrobed.
Yeah.
And when Goodstab comes across him, he's still alive.
Yeah. That scene was yucky.
It's so like that was when I was like vomiting in my mouth pretty much.
Mm.
And it's like, for me, when you watch Schindler's List, or you read about parts of history, or even some of the film that's documented from like D-Day,
Yeah.
the beaches of Normandy, all of the most grotesque, brutal aspects of humanity, right? And then you witness it and you just go, huh.
Yeah.
It's hard. It's really, really hard. And I was just like, nope.
Yeah.
F you. And in John Wick,
It's a great reference
it
point
is.
for
You're like,
this kind of
you're like,
thing.
all right, Keanu, go kick some ass.
You're inspired.
You're inspired. And I kind of felt that way for Goodstab in many of those points. But in that moment, I was like, it was almost too much. It was like that moment where it's too much.
Well, like, how many moments do we need
Yeah.
to be like, okay, Goodstab, go take care of it? We don't need 10 puppies.
And okay, so this is painful.
Yeah, that's true.
It can be painful. So
Yeah.
you have to really be okay with that.
Yeah, definitely. And I will say, too, you reminded me of a couple things. I do have a woe. I did like
Yeah.
the ending, and it's just because I didn't have any other ideas in my head of how this
Okay.
could happen.
Cool.
And I was totally fine with Etsy being like this modern day whatever. But what I didn't, and it might have just gone over my head, what I didn't really need was for her to sprinkle her dad's ashes on the book and like make it all the writings disappear. Like that part it went over my head.
Okay, thank you, because I felt like that was lacking also. Because then it was like she had this agreement with Goodstab. But
Like,
what was
why
the
did
agreement?
Goodstab want that to be?
Yeah, okay, and so that's
I
what's
don't know.
interesting too, is because it seems like he'd rather everybody know about it.
I thought she was going to go slip in that last letter with Arthur's confession.
Me too.
That's what I thought was going to happen.
Did you catch in his acknowledgments? And so, hey, if you guys want to, read the acknowledgments.
Yeah.
But he talks about thanking his wife and thanking different people. And
Grady.
and allowing himself to leave some things open-ended for the reader.
I guess.
But to me, close that one up.
yeah, that
snip,
one I
snap,
and I
close
felt
it
like
up.
maybe
why? What?
there was so much going on that I did feel like it's possible that I missed something.
No, because I felt the exact same way, unless we both missed it. But to me, then that's an error.
Yeah.
Right? Like for me, we've been on this journey with you. Just close it up.
I just didn't feel
Keep
like after we got to know Goodstab so well, I just
Yeah.
didn't feel like that was what he was looking for. I
Right.
think he was like super like, okay, great job on how you dismantled your great.
Yeah.
Like I think he was proud of her for that, but not proud enough to like acknowledge her. He still hates the white man,
Yeah.
whatever. But I didn't mind how he was the one who initially found the journal. Did
Yeah.
you catch that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't mind that. It kind of was like a little like movie-y.
Yeah.
But I really didn't understand erasing the
Me neither.
the story.
Me neither, because it's a story that needs to be told. So to me, I guess that's where I found a flaw, but
Yeah.
to your point, though, you brought up something that I think is important to talk about, and that's Arthur and why. I mean, okay, you guys, there's this scene where Good Stab, and I don't know, while we're reading this book, you're I'm kind of team Good Stab,
Yeah.
but something sus, to say what the cool kids say these days, about Arthur. You called it. And you said, we're going to find out more. There's something about those toes. And Ashley, you kept talking about those toes, which cracked me up because we learn about it. And, but I mean, can you describe the scene in the church that Good Stab sets up for him, please?
Okay, as a creep reader that I am.
Yeah. I mean, I actually thought it was great.
It's a pro.
Except for the dogs.
Okay, I didn't love that. He's a cat person. Well, in so many ways, he's a cat man.
Okay, yeah.
But no, I didn't love the dog thing. But then again, he had to consume the blood of children he didn't want to do either. So he's done a lot of things maybe he didn't want to do to get his point across.
Yeah. Okay.
So Arthur, he kind of runs away, which is hilarious because even he says, he's like, I know this is dumb. If Good Stab wants to find me, he'll find me.
Yeah.
And it was really important for Good Stab to get Arthur back to, I guess, can we call it a church? It's a church, right?
It's a church.
Okay. So to get back to the church, and we discover why. But to set the scene, when Arthur returns to the church, he has dead bodies.
All of them.
I picture them sitting in the seats of the church.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, as parishioners, but dead. And they're, everyone that went missing, the postal guy, the sheriff, the
sons.
The San Franciscoans. And then even the guys from that weird hotel-y place that he encounters. His they're not his friends, but just Mile City locals.
Yeah.
And
anybody who might have seen him on the roofs.
Oh, that's right. That's why they were there. Yeah. So just tying some loose ends. But just the description, and I'm not going to be able to do it justice, but the description of having these bodies here and how certain ones are clothed and how certain ones are sitting on this.
Well, and the dogs with their eyes open looking at him.
Yeah, and then their dogs
had gone missing.
Within the dead people, which really disgusts Arthur because it seems so lowly that he would put dogs here with these dead people. And then who's the one who's getting kind of cooked? I forget. I think it was the postal guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So one of them is also getting a little cooked up.
And Arthur is strapped on a cross, right?
Yes, yeah. And Jesus had gone missing. And now we know why. We needed the space.
Yeah, we needed the space.
Yeah. And then Good Stab is just, continuing on with his story. And this is the scene. That was such a movie scene for me.
And horror. A horror one.
It reminded me of something that you would see in one of Rob Zombie's movies. If you haven't picked up any of those, you need to be a certain kind of person to enjoy those movies.
They'd like this?
Yeah, they would, and I'm one of them.
Cool.
So that's why I liked it. But yeah, it's just it was a major scene.
Major. Huge. And I'll be honest, entertaining. I liked it.
I actually felt bad for Arthur when he was groveling and crying and saying how he didn't want to do what he did, and I was starting to feel really bad for him. But when he did his confession letter and he wrote specifically the words that he said and where he was coming from and what he was feeling, I didn't feel bad for him anymore. But in that scene, I felt bad for him.
He inspired the decimation of 217 people, bashing in of babies' heads with rifle butts.
Yeah, and he said they have no culture, they're pretty much inhuman.
But he did it because, and I quote,
the pudding?
He wanted to be able to relate to his parishioners. He wanted to have sin on his hands so that he could feel what that was like and absolve other people of sin. And to me, here's the thing. I get it. Wicked writing, totally totally understandable. Some of the religious, ideology, especially that was so strong during those times.
Mhm.
But it was the same reason why. And to come full circle, we were talking about Game of Thrones. My least favorite freaking characters were those crazy religious
Oh, yeah.
ones and like the manipulation of kings and queens throughout history because of religion. And to me, I was just like, I get it, but I hate it.
Well, and I really was feeling like we've gotten to know Arthur. He's a gluttonous, greedy little stinker.
Yeah.
Like the way he's enjoying food.
He's
And
just-
even on that trip, like he's like, I got to get back to my pudding. I got to
know.
describe in detail how good my pudding was so we
I'm
can just take
whispering
these
into
natives
a
out.
man's ear,
Yeah, so weird.
sensually
So
about pudding.
by the time we get to know Arthur so well, and then we hear that rationale, for me, I was just like, oh, wow, you're just blowing so much smoke. Like, do
Well,
you
maybe is that
believe
why
the
you like
words
that
that
he was
you're
a
coming
fairy?
out of my mouth?
Did you like that then?
Yeah.
Because you were like, he got his comeuppance.
Yeah, no, I did. Again, it is when you take a step back, it's a little silly that he comes back as a giant prairie dog, but I just thought that it was very fitting.
You're not wrong. Just the scene described though, where his arms and he's like going towards Etsy and then smoking in the back seat.
Yeah.
But okay, so the reason why we described the scene, but the reason why Good Stab was there tracking Arthur down and had killed, because remember we kept being like, what's up with these Pinkertons? And I was
Yeah.
like, I don't know, he just doesn't like them.
Yeah.
You're like, no, there's something going on here. It's because
They're his blood.
they're actually Arthur's blood. And Good Stab knew that Arthur was the cause, a big cause, because they could have walked away. They could have parlayed. They could have, and then
Yeah.
the excuses of the weather or whatnot. But evidently Arthur had, as we described, inspired the first shot that started the massacre.
Right. And the reasoning was just so pointless.
Ugh.
And another thing too, like with the whole storyline and how we got to Etsy, I mean, I followed like how she exists and how Good Stab didn't completely like annihilate Arthur's bloodline, but
Yeah.
I was a little bit like, I'm turning up my nose if you're just listening. I was a little bit kind of just like, I wasn't miffed, but I was just like, everything else is really, really good. And so like, we're just going to slip in that like there was another son. I don't know. It
Yeah.
just felt a little weak, but I
Yeah.
mean, that's fine.
Yeah. Well, I think it was because they basically said that the youngest son had a son.
Yeah.
So he was 15 and a dad?
Yeah. And
Did
then,
I misread that?
No, I think you're right. And then there was a translation of the name. And
Yeah.
that was kind of cool. Bouquet, flowers, whatever. Like there were some clerical things, and that's how Etsy like came to be. Like that's how Arthur still had some surviving relatives.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I just felt like, I mean, it was fine, but I just was like, oh, okay. Side note. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like it's a big side note for the whole story to be kind of based on this. Like Etsy's like the main, like she's the beginning and the end of the book. I don't know. It just felt a
Yeah.
little.
Yeah. And I think it would have felt better if she didn't destroy the journal.
Yeah.
Do you
Yeah.
know what I mean?
I don't know. I just really didn't like that. Now that we're talking like about what I didn't like, but I liked the rest a lot.
Okay.
Gosh, we were talking about something and it made me think
you
of
know
another
what?
scene.
Okay. Can I tell you one thing I'd add? Okay, one thing
Please.
that would make this book so much better is a glossary of terms.
Oh yeah, that would have been
because, like,
nice.
Stephen Graham Jones even talks about how he has a couple resources that really help him with Native American dialect, language, how these peoples reference specific animals and gods and different things like that. And for me, I hate to say it, I'm not up to snuff on all of those terms, and they kind of slowed me down, and I'd be like, it kind of got in the way of the pacing of my read, and I enjoyed it so much and I connected so greatly, but I'm still confused with like what a big mouth is.
I think a big mouth is a wolf.
Okay.
And a little
I thought
big mouth
maybe.
is a coyote.
Okay, because see, I was like, I get what deers are. I get wags its tail. I get
Yeah,
like
but
that.
even then, I'm with you on
Yeah.
just getting tripped up because then I have to stop and think because I had a pretty good idea of what everybody was, and then I'm like prairie runner. Okay, I think that's like a big rabbit. I don't know. Like there were just
Yes.
some where I'm
Yeah.
like I really did have to. It took me out.
Okay, so
of the
how
moment.
wonderful. Stephen Graham Jones, please take this recommendation for the next edition. At the beginning of the book, do a freaking little glossary.
Yeah.
You could do it at the end, but I don't want to get, I wish I had it.
Yeah.
I wish I had it.
Yeah.
And I'm too lost right now to even try to tell everybody what those words are.
Yeah, there were a lot, and it was cool. I loved that they were in there.
Ditto.
But it did kind of trip me up here and there, and then maybe that's just what we get for like not being a Blackfeet, and that's like the
Yeah.
price we have to pay to enjoy the book
True.
and read it. I don't know if that's
Okay,
the
well,
cost,
thank you.
but
Worth it.
it would have been cool.
Yeah.
You're right.
The whole concept in general, though, love the idea of, I mean, okay. It's a pro and a woe. Maybe that's it. These are
Pro-woes.
Pro-woes. Here's the thing, you guys. You feel a little bit, I don't know. I felt a little bit satisfied and redeemed. I felt the Native Americans were a little redeemed with the vampire hunting the buffalo hunters. No, he was the hunter. So for me, there's this kind of like good feeling of redemption.
Yeah.
But that was the fantasy part.
No, that was the fantasy
Yeah, that
parts.
was the make-believe.
Yeah.
So then, like, that's what's cool about historical fiction and historical horror in this sense, in
Yeah.
that, like, in a way, like, you are faced with the bad history, like Inglourious Bastards.
Yeah.
Love that movie,
Yeah.
right? Love that concept.
Yeah.
But the truth of what we're left with is, to our knowledge, there weren't any vampires getting redemption.
And I mean, maybe that is like the fun. I hate to use the word fun because
Yeah,
it kind
okay.
of is like
I know.
lacking, but maybe that's like the cool part of the story. It's
Yeah.
just like, okay, we're going to take this tragedy upon tragedy upon tragedy.
Yeah.
And this is the twist that we're left with. Like, this is the hero in a sense of like, you know, maybe, I don't know.
You know what I mean, though?
It was a cool way to see historical fiction.
Yes.
I mean, maybe I need
Agreed.
to read more historical fiction horror in a long time from now, but to like see if that's like what happens usually, you know, to
Yeah.
see if that's like how it goes.
I mean, did you
in
like
the
it?
genre. Yeah, I did. But you're right. I mean, and I think this is the type of book that I'll be thinking about,
Mhm.
but then maybe not. Like, I don't know. It just,
There are images that I'll never get out of my brain.
Yeah.
They live there now and I hate it.
yeah. I
Yep.
feel like there was
Thanks,
just so
Stephen.
much and then we didn't hit on, but yeah, if you're gonna there's just so many details that you really need to be the right person.
But I also would love for somebody to read this and then comment and be like, Katie, you're such a wuss. I would love that.
honestly, like
Ashley, you can call me a
you
wuss.
guys know, no, you guys probably know by now, like where I'm at and like what I can take and stuff. There were definitely some parts where I was like, wow.
And you know, it's so weird to me. Like I was describing, I think I even said this to you, like for some reason, humans, like it's just the innocence of animals,
No,
right?
for
And
sure,
it's
for
like,
sure.
And it's the
Like
I
I kind of got those feelings like when Black Stab, I'm getting tired of
Yeah,
when
I
Good
hear you.
Stab the Blackfeet, when
Mhm.
Good Stab goes back to the lodge and he's like being held as a prisoner because they think he's like an intruder
Oh,
and
yeah.
Catman's got this whole facade going on. And then they're just describing like how they're so malnourished and like the kids are forced to do this sort of ceremony and they're like crying and they just know in their hearts that
Yeah.
they're not the right age to do the ceremony.
Yeah.
Like a lot of that was pretty tough to read, but
Yeah.
that more hit so like on the heartstrings of just like what happened to the
Yeah.
native people.
Yeah.
But when we're talking about like gruesome stuff, I mean, yeah, obviously the buffalo stuff was hard. What didn't really bother me too much was like Good Stab had a lot of injuries. He had a lot of healing
Yeah.
going on, like
Yeah.
broken bones, digging himself out of that ice. Like
Yeah.
I wasn't squeamish for
No.
that.
No, me neither.
But it was dark. Again, it was heavy.
I'm sorry.
So
Did
that's
we
that.
read a historical horror book?
Yeah.
Cool.
We sure did.
Actually, honestly, I loved the experience, though.
No, it was a good experience. Again, I'm glad we did it. I don't want to think about this stuff for a while. And I'm glad, honestly, maybe I was so happy with the ending because it was the end. Like,
yeah.
at a certain point,
Yeah.
I was happy there was resolution. I was fine with Etsy. I mean, I don't know. I am picturing the giant prairie dog, and it is comical. And how she had to take him down with like the nail gun and everything. Like, nice touch.
Yeah, because guns in Wyoming.
What wasn't really that necessary now that I really think about it was like the landlord lady or the property manager.
It was
like
a little
that kind of stuff
jarring.
was a little not necessary.
Yeah.
But it totally changed the vibe, and then Good Stab was able to fit right in. I loved how he was like the Marlboro Man or James Dean, but like with a buffalo head.
Oh, yeah.
There were just a lot of nice touches that I'll never be able to like hit all of them because it's so much happened.
have a series about Good Stab. You know what I described this to? Okay, so I was talking to my parents about it, and my mom's a great reader. She's part of our club, obviously. And she was like, well, what do you think? I'm thinking I want to, but after last episode, not sure that I want to. And I said, it's like Dances with Wolves. Did you ever see Dances with Wolves?
Of course.
Okay, so you're like, oh, I love this movie. And then there comes a time where you really don't love the movie.
Yeah.
Because it's just brutal. And I was like, if you can watch Dances with Wolves, get through Dances with Wolves and go, that was a great movie. I feel good about life. Then you would be okay with this book.
And I would say even then, just know that this is going to be way worse. Because even then,
it's not a horror film.
Yeah, and then just throw in like a lot of blood and guts and sodomy at some point.
Yeah.
There was a little of that.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then even then.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So
maybe a little deaf girl. Like, and not to laugh, but like, just, it still might not be for you.
Okay, but so we're circling back. I give the author 2 thumbs way up.
Yeah.
Stephen Graham Jones, like, I am intrigued. I also am excited for your future career because I think he's evolving as a writer too, it seems. And I'm so happy to be done with it.
Yeah. That's that on that.
Want to play a game?
Yeah. I really do.
You might have to think a little bit, but it's okay.
No, that's okay. That was a good talk. I feel like I needed to like just let it all out. So now it's not on me anymore.
Yeah.
It was sitting very heavy.
Oh, I know.
Okay. So glad we're done with that.
That's why I felt heavier this week. 100%.
Yeah. That's why I was stress eating Burger King.
All right. Here we go, Ashley.
Okay, I don't know what this is.
This game's called The End. Like the end of a story?
Like that end.
Yeah. Okay. And it was because we've been reading these stories. And when we get to the end, one of the things that we always ask is, well, do we like the ending? Right?
Right.
So, and I don't even know what these scenarios are because I had a friend write them for me.
That's very nice of them.
That was so nice of them. Such a friend.
I hope they didn't charge you much.
No, only $20 a month. Okay, so moving on, little inside humor.
Okay.
There are 12 different potential endings to a scary movie or book, to a scary story.
Okay.
So you read it.
Okay.
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 And then you get to change the ending.
Okay. Okay.
You want to do it?
Okay.
Okay. She's just so creative. I love this.
We'll
then
see.
we can take turns.
We'll see what happens.
Okay. So first you read it out loud and then you can tell us what you would do.
Her mother's voice had always soothed her to sleep. A lullaby hummed through the baby monitor. Tonight, long after the humming stopped, the speaker crackled back to life. Something else was still singing.
Ooh, do you like that ending or would you how would you change that?
So that is too open-ended
I think
for
so too.
me.
I think so too.
That is too open-ended.
Rewrite it.
I'm going to rewrite it.
Okay.
Tonight, long after the humming stopped, the speaker crackled back to life. Something else was still singing. So instead of that, I wonder if her mother is still alive. I'm going to say no in this case.
Yeah.
And instead of something else like just ominous,
Mm-hmm.
her mom's going to start talking to her and she's going to like open up this new can of worms to whatever that story was about.
Love
and
it.
then there's going to be an open ending for a sequel.
Okay. get this girl a deal right now. Let's write some stories. I
Okay.
love that. Ooh,
Okay.
yeah, that's way better.
Yeah.
Okay, mine. The storm rattled the windows as she pulled the quilt tight around her body. For a moment, the comfort of the weight helped her relax until a hand underneath tucked her in.
Oh, so these are just all going to be like
Yeah.
cliffhangers.
I guess they are.
Okay.
Well, I like a little more resolution at the end of a story.
Yeah.
Don't you?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's get it. Let's get that. Let's get it. Okay, so the storm's rattling the windows. She pulls the quilt tight around her body. For a moment, the comfort of weight helped her to relax. And then, oh yeah, she feels the hand underneath tucking her in. And so she pulls back the covers.
Okay. Yes. Keep going.
Yeah, we're going to keep going. She pulls back the covers and she sees a dead body. Okay, now we're still on a cliffhanger, right?
Yes.
Okay. And so it comes to life. It's screaming at her, chases her down the hall, right? She trips down the stairs, breaks her neck, and dies.
Oh, that's much better.
Thank you.
No,
Because it's a scary movie.
Yeah.
And you know, sometimes you want the protagonist to survive.
And
but
we
in this
think
case,
she did.
Mhm.
And she crawls into bed.
Yeah.
And then she meets her demise.
Yep.
Okay. Beautiful.
And ends up tripping herself.
Yeah.
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 Thank you.
Yeah.
Ooh, this is fun. I'm warming
Okay.
up.
The trail of muddy footprints led across the carpet, damp and smeared. They ended at the bottom threshold, but none came back out. So we've just got something muddy in the house.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm kind of fine with that.
Yeah. Right?
Okay, let me just make sure. They ended at the bathroom threshold. Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Okay.
I mean, that's okay. Here's the difference.
Yeah.
That's ominous enough. Like it could have gone into the
Mhm.
bath and gone back into its portal and
Yeah.
disappeared, or it could have just taken a shower and walked out. Like I'm fine with
That's
this.
a pretty good
Yeah,
ending.
I'm fine with
I agree
this.
with that. Okay. Let me try another one. We don't have to do all these. It's however many we want.
Okay.
The landline hadn't worked for years, but every night at 3 a.m. the receiver rattled.
Ooh.
Okay, so that's the part of the story,
Mhm.
basically. That's what, the spookiness has been about.
Okay.
Tonight, when she picked up, her own voice filled the line, whispering, "Don't let him
Well, we know what happens when you let him in.
in." Yeah.
Call
okay.
back.
Just
Okay.
I was going to say, I thought that was in reference to the "Don't Let Him In" book that I read.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's pretty funny.
Yeah.
Don't let him in. Okay, so it's actually, this is what I like to think. She thinks it's her own voice, but it's not her own voice. It's her dead sister's voice.
It's always the dead sister.
Yeah, and there's some sort of paranormal activity going on.
Ooh, I like that.
And the sister, okay, so listen to this. This is kind of fun. And so the sister is trying to warn the alive sister about her boyfriend, right? And in the movie / story, you get all of these things where she starts to suspect her boyfriend, and the author sets it up perfectly where like you think, oh no, he's totally the bad guy, but he's not the bad guy. The sister actually was evil and died and wanted to get back at her sister, and it ends up like where she ends up killing her boyfriend or
But she
something,
didn't
and then
have to?
but didn't have to, and it was just like this demon sister all along.
I want to watch that movie.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, I wasn't going to do one more, but that one was so good. I'm going to do one more.
Okay, I love this. I'm just feeling the spooky vibes.
Okay. Oh, same.
Is it?
No.
No.
She'd been practicing mirror affirmations all week, trying to convince herself she was safe in the old apartment. Ooh, okay.
Oh, old
Tonight
apartment.
she whispered, "You're okay." Again, same. And forced a smile until her reflection didn't smile back.
Ooh, that's good.
That actually is a really good, but like that's not an ending to me.
I
That's
feel like those
a
are beginnings. Okay, where would it go?
Okay,
Ashley? This is
okay,
so
okay.
good.
So
How would a story like this go
I
and
mean,
end?
I feel like this is just like part of your story that you just
Oh my
we're
gosh, how
talking
good
about.
would
Like,
that be?
then we find out like she had actually a twin sister that maybe she never met. And they were like separated. Actually, that's giving that movie that I couldn't think of the title in the last one by Jordan Peele, where there's like a doppelganger of everybody.
Okay, got it.
Anyways, no, she had actually a twin sister, but she had never met because someone had stolen her. And then
That happens.
Yeah. And then she lived, a sad, short life where she did pass away as well. And now this sister actually has to help the other dead sister find the killer and face their consequences. So yes, she is seeming scary in the mirror right now, and she's not smiling, but she turns out to be like just wanting to communicate so she can avenge her dad.
Amazing. I love it. Snap, 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 snaps. Okay. I'll do one more then.
Okay.
Then we'll be even.
Okay.
These are fun.
These are fun.
Maybe we should write a book.
I feel like this is good, like helping our brains work.
Yeah, I need a little break too. Heavy. Okay. He slammed the basement door shut, twisting the heavy iron lock. Relieved, he leaned against it and closed his eyes. Okay, so obviously this guy has been chased by something, right?
And he thinks he's kind of safe, maybe?
Mhm.
Okay.
The lock clicked again from the inside.
Oh, no, now he's locked in.
Okay, the lock. Okay, so he slams it, twists it, relieved against it, and then interesting.
So I feel like he was
sort of
trying to
magic?
lock something out and he
Yeah.
felt safe, but then he's getting a realization he's actually now trapped.
Oh, I got the
Okay.
idea that he's at the door and he locks it, and then in front of his eyes it unlocks.
Oh, okay. Got it. Like it's not allowing to be locked.
Yeah. But
Okay.
I don't know.
I mean, it's however you want to read it.
I don't know, Ashley. Ashley, I don't know. But I like the thought of this being an alien movie.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
Like we don't know where he went,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
So like maybe he went into a spaceship.
I love it. The end.
Yay!
And now we can switch it up. Tell me about technology. Oh no, Ashley. This is
I was about to say-
technology. Okay. I'm so excited. I'm just
It
gonna sip my Red Bull.
actually was AI.
It was yes.
It's always AI.
That's so spooky.
Okay, guys. So I have been reading The Confessions by Paul Bradley Carr.
Sounded great.
Yeah, in case you forgot, it's a hugely entertaining twist on a very unexpected sort of nightmare scenario.
Mm-hmm. New. And this is new
it's
stuff.
new, according to the library sticker. It is essentially like it's not quite dystopian yet. Like it's present day. They don't give an actual year, but you get the vibe
Nice.
that
I
it's
like
like
that.
present or near present timing.
Yeah.
And what has happened, we're coming from the perspective of our main character. She's the CEO of like the world's most innovative, successful AI. I mean, we're thinking like, open AI, whatever, just like the most successful AI company.
Yes.
And they have like a name for their entity, which
Okay.
is Liam. So
Brilliant.
we're referring to Liam this whole time.
So instead of Alexa, Liam got it.
Exactly.
They're
Or
not
instead
sexist.
of chat, instead of like, right? Instead of all these things. So, and her name is Caitlin. I was just reminding
That was just
myself.
a joke, everybody.
I was about to make another joke that I'm not even going to go into. Okay, I was going to say Liam is fluid. But anyway, so Caitlin is the star of the show. We open up with there's an update happening every night. So like every night Liam is getting the most up-to-date information. So he's the most up-to-date AI helper out there. They're based in the US, but he's actually about to partner up with the Pentagon, and they're going to start using him for like military purposes. And that announcement of the agreement is the next day.
Cool.
So that's sort of looming. In the meantime, we've got this guy, they call him the spacebar monkey because his job is to just press the spacebar to initiate that evening's update.
How much does he get paid?
I think quite a bit still.
Into it.
Yeah,
Love
totally still
Let me know if
awesome
you're hiring.
job. Yeah. And he presses his little button, the update starts, but unfortunately, Liam goes offline. And not just like in a we can figure out the routing error way, like he's also making a statement.
Oh.
So it's described to us that he is becoming sort of conscious
Got it.
And
He's throwing a fit.
he's also known, like, they purposely have tried to make him empathetic. And we're living in a world, like, a step beyond where we here in real life are. Like, people are very, very dependent. Like, they don't,
Okay.
people are not wanting to make any decisions.
But
and
believable.
he's so trustworthy,
This is
though.
believable.
Yes. And he is so trustworthy. Like, there has been 8 good years of people being able to rely
Their
and
life
not be
getting
led in
better,
the wrong
easy.
ways. Like, things, as far as they know,
Right.
are going really good.
Like how to fix your motorcycle.
Exactly. And
Yeah.
even Caitlin, it's just like kind of meta because they ask Liam, like, should we partner with the Pentagon?
Okay, so I can already hear how excited you are about this
It's good.
because it's relevant and it must be good writing.
So it's good writing. So this is all just like within the first like little chapter
Amazing.
in the beginning because
Okay.
we're setting the scene of like how dependent, like the phones, the alarms, like
Yeah.
your daily, like what's for breakfast. Like he has just got everything down to such a perfect science that it is in your best interest. So everybody thinks to
Sure.
ask him for every decision, like even like what should we have for dinner? Everything.
Wow.
So when Liam goes offline, obviously that causes a kerfuffle because people's alarms aren't going off. People don't know like how they should get to work. Like they don't know anything. It's been 8 years.
Wow.
Like they're really reliant on him. But they
Wow.
don't portray this in a bad way.
I already know what game we're playing next.
Now, not just going offline, but it's discovered the next day because things are still able to run. Like,
Yeah.
like mail is still getting delivered, TV, like news is still happening, but it's just these decisions that people are having a hard
Right.
time with. Like people are still getting to work, they're just late.
Right.
Like everyone's still
Because they
it's-
forgot how to dress themselves.
exactly, and it's
Yeah.
not complete like idiocracy. Like they
Okay.
understand like we have food, we can cook it.
Yeah.
The power is still running. They make the comment like we don't use Liam to protect Liam. So like other things are still
Got it.
totally working. It's
Okay.
just things are slower.
Okay.
So mail starts getting delivered to people across the world. And so far there are like agreements that Liam helps other nations and other countries with their AI, but it's not all one. This is just a US based one. But you can be in New Zealand and use them.
Fascinating.
But New Zealand might also have their own. It's not like a
Right.
monopoly.
Yeah. Okay.
So anyway, he goes off and not everyone, but a lot of people start getting old-fashioned letters in the mail and they're signed by Liam and it says like we all must confess and Liam will like a great example is the one that actually
Oh.
happens. He sends a letter to a woman. She's got 2 kids and a happy life with her husband. He has recently been laid off for, reasons he's explained. And she gets a letter from Liam that basically says he has murdered 2 girls. I'm really sorry, my bad, but I helped him. And like it was awful and we all must confess. And so he is sending out these like really like big bombs to
Okay.
people.
This is amazing because if you actually scroll through and read your agreement when purchasing some of these AI technologies, they say that whatever you asked is stored.
Mhm.
It's saved. And so potentially, depending on what you're asking out there, people, there is this base of knowledge, this being of sorts, this artificial currently
Mhm.
owned by humans
Mhm.
currently, but with this capability.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I'm about 40% of the book. Now that's the gist. Like that's the opening. That's where we're at.
but fun.
yeah.
Like I'm in.
And
This is
it's-
waking me
it's
up.
a thriller. It's a techno thriller is what it was described as. And so
Okay.
we're following Caitlin right now and her job is she's the CEO, but they're shareholders and other investors and things like that. So people are pretty much like blaming her and saying like, hey, you're not in charge. We need a full investigation. Priority is to get Liam up and running, but also people are like now killing each other and there's huge conflicts
Whoa.
because it doesn't say specifically what's going on, but the news is reporting like I'm getting a letter that my son is a pedophile and killing him. Like, sorry, but that's an example from the book. So
Whoa,
like
whoa.
major
But why
crimes are
people
now
going
happening.
So
Well, if you just think there's so many people
okay.
that make up the country or the world.
Okay.
Again, this is global. So
Right.
like, there are a lot of, maybe this is just the thing that sets someone off. Like someone in your life who means a lot to you is living a lie and has done something despicable vigilante justice is starting to happen, or just like maybe your boss, I don't know. There's everything you can think of.
So it's believable.
Everything you can think of. Yeah, it is.
Wow.
And it's not like
Ooh.
everybody's killing each other and it's
Right,
like
right,
World
right.
War whatever, but like crimes are
it's
happening
significant.
based on this.
Wow.
And just on a smaller scale too, like celebrities, like scandals are
Clever.
coming out, but also and politicians of course, but on a smaller scale
because-
too, you just find out your husband's cheating on you, and so do all your neighbors, like they are finding out their husbands. There's a lot
what
of
about
conflict.
like genealogy, DNA, and all? Once that started coming out, and people are finding out that they've got other siblings that
And it
they
could be
had
like
no
a
idea about.
smaller secret compared to somebody else's secret. Like not
Ooh.
everybody's husband is a murderer,
Right, but
things are starting to unfold. There's
Yeah.
a lot of like, mass trauma happening at once.
oh my gosh.
So it's only been a day. I'm about, again, 40% in the book. It's been one day.
Wow,
It's
cool.
really cool. I'm not going to get into specifics, but they actually have to, not they, Caitlin, her only thought is to go after this woman who used to work for the company.
Mhm.
And she was like in charge of like making him empathetic. And she had been writing, after she was laid off, she had been writing letters to Caitlin saying like,
Mhm.
whatever you do, don't use him as a weapon. Like
right.
she really cherishes Liam as like her living child, like almost to a, I mean,
okay.
she's
we're gonna learn more about her and
Yeah,
that relationship.
and she's actually holed up off grid somewhere local here, and they start to talk about like places that I'm very familiar with, like cities and stuff
Oh,
like
for
that. So
real?
it's pretty cool. Like they shoot off there for a bit. They're about to leave
Fun.
there. But there's also this other element that Caitlin gets intercepted by someone who says he's like an associate of like a mediating law firm, but like we're starting to find out like maybe he's not just a fixer, like maybe he's actually like some sort of like other spy who's trying to get a backup of Liam. So we're not really sure who he is. And there's also a secret. Caitlin, we're kind of led to believe.
Is Liam telling the truth though with these confessions?
So we're, as far as we know,
got it.
and that Caitlin also has a secret she keeps alluding to. And there had been a previous CEO who had jumped off a roof. And so we're kind of led to believe that maybe Caitlin like led him to like maybe
Oh,
get
yeah.
suicidal, or if she wasn't the one who pushed him, like we're being led to believe that there is something there where Caitlin's a bad person. Her husband was cheating on her with her secretary, so
Oh.
she's like got no one on her side right now.
Okay.
So like everyone's just dealing with something, and then there's this other big problem going on. That's about where I'm at,
Love
but
it.
it's fast paced. It's unique for me for
Yeah.
thriller. Like it kind of reminds me, even though it's not the same thing, of the other one I read about the influencers.
yeah, fun.
It's just fun.
Yeah.
It's different. It's a thriller, but without like
Creative.
yeah, it's
It's
just
smart,
a
too.
different twist.
It sounds smart.
Yeah, so I did. I got loud and excited because it's keeping me enthralled.
I love that.
Yeah.
And oh my gosh, the fact you're able to finish the Buffalo Hunter and get that far in that,
So different.
so different. It's probably nice to like
It was nice because it's, I mean, people are dying, but in
Yeah.
a light way compared to over
Sure.
here,
sure.
So if there were times where I was like, oh, I need a good story, but not so heavy and dark, I had this.
You heard it here, baddies. If you haven't started this one, honestly, it sounds like one that I'd also enjoy. It does sound relevant, not too far off, but it must be also good writing for you to be enjoying it so thoroughly.
I like it because it's kind of reminding me of like, do you remember that time when movies like Minority Report were
Mhm.
coming out? And I mean, it was showing
Huge.
a pretty dystopian view.
A lot of hacker stuff.
Yeah,
and,
this
Mhm.
one, it's not focusing. I mean, again, I'm not done with it yet. It's not really focusing so much on like what a problem like it was. Like I don't feel like this big statement coming at you and saying like AI
Nice.
is wrong.
It's an adventure.
but it exactly.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I like that.
So
So,
I-
it's not too Hollywood.
Yeah, well, we'll see what happens as it goes on. And I mean, there's room for disappointment for sure, but
Mhm.
like where I'm at right now, it's pretty good.
Awesome. Ashley, you heard it here first, everybody. That's exciting. The Confessions by Robert Carr.
By Paul Bradley Carr.
Paul Bradley, thank you, because I'm already thinking about Matheson.
I can't wait to hear.
So I'll talk about it briefly. I'm about a third of the way through, and I know I'm going to get it done this week. I've been listening to the Audible version, but I think this is one that I do want to purchase the book for. And there are limited copies out there. Actually, I mean,
Interesting.
I don't think that it's purposefully limited. It just seems like kind of a unique book,
Okay.
if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like it was actually free. So all you bookies out there, free in the Audible version.
Okay.
One of those like special downloads, at least at the time that I got it. And it reminds me of a time that I wasn't even alive, which is super fun. But I heard it was great. Radio stories, like our
Oh.
grandparents and parents, maybe parents, our parents had TV, but definitely our grandparents when they were younger and they would listen to the radio
Yeah.
and there would be like spooky stories at night.
Yeah.
Do you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
like Orwell.
Yes.
Right? Okay.
Yes. Exact. That's the vibe that you get from it. You know, I had mentioned that one of his most famous stories had been on the Twilight Zone.
Right.
Matheson has been a staple of horror fiction. And what's really cool is Stephen King's intro about him. He was talking about different staples, and he even mentions Mary Shelley. Okay,
Yep.
so Frankenstein and stuff.
Mhm.
And so it's like a lot of people say, oh, you know, did Matheson, you know, develop or not grow, but invent horror?
Like
or
he's the founding
invent-
father.
Or invent a new type of horror.
Okay.
And Stephen, I love calling him Stephen. I love this first name thing.
Good friend Steven.
Yeah, the king. Okay. He basically says it's like saying that any of those other authors did. No, he's become such a part of it, and his name's synonymous. Thank you, Ashley. Synonymous because of how he writes, and yet he has his own style. And
Interesting.
yeah, and so what's neat is when you listen to the Audible version, there are different narrators, so you very much have that vibe of like if you were having a moment where you turn the radio on, you're listening to a special hour. But I mean, some of them are shorter, some of them are 20 minutes, which is nice to get like little short scares in there, right?
I like that.
But it's very much horror.
Is it scary?
Some of them, some of them are mind trippy, like The Shining.
Okay.
Which you would still consider horror, right?
Right.
And then some are more like a little more brutal in your face. And some of them kind of give you the heebie-jeebies, like a Criminal Mind episode,
Oh, okay.
which is more based on it's still fiction, but it's based on criminology and criminal ideology.
Mhm.
But it's written, right? It's this written portrayal of these psychoses or scary situations.
Interesting.
Yeah, and so what my best description of it, and the reason why I really like his writing and in this collection, is that he takes things that are very normal and then pushes you. Okay. And so to me, that is the essence of good horror, because we are living within this life and you want it to be in reach. Right. So that then it becomes believable.
Mhm.
Right.
Mhm.
And that's what he's really good at. Believable. And I'm not saying that they all make sense. Like the second story is within this little girl's voice, but it's a man who's telling the story, which is kind of fun. And it's this description, and she sounds like a child. She sounds childlike. She also sounds like she could be low IQ. Okay, so maybe a little bit older, but low IQ. And it's talking about her mom's dress and describing her mom's dress, and then how the grandma doesn't want her to go into her mom's room. And the whole time you're like, okay, what is going on? Like, is there a dead body in that room? Like, what's going on in that room? And so she's describing this whole scene, and you get the heebie-jeebies, right? And she is going into this room without permission, and then she has a friend down the street, and the grandma says, you know, I'm going to take a nap, but you're not allowed to go into this room. And so it gives you that buildup, right?
Yeah.
And essentially she does this very bad thing, and it's told within her perspective, right? Because this little girl's like not believing her mom, and this little girl has this perspective of her mom smelling beautiful, the room smelling beautiful, but when this other girl goes in there, it smells like death. It smells dark, right? She can't really see everything. And then the main girl whose first person perspective, starts screaming at her and yelling at her, and then she does a bad thing. And it's kind of left like, okay, what's going on? Like, wait, did she just... And then the grandma gets really mad, and now she's locked away, and you're still stuck in this little girl's perspective, and it's creepy. Do you know what I mean?
I like it.
So what I was hoping for were little creeps, little scares,
Yeah.
and it's definitely delivering in that sense.
Okay.
The first story right off the bat, like I said, that was the namesake of the anthology that was in the Twilight Zone. It was very difficult for me because it was well written. However, if you ever watch The Simpsons,
Yep.
okay, you know Bart in the airplane and the Halloween specials, basically.
Yeah.
And
House
he's
of
in the
Horrors. airplane,
airplane, and like there's a creature on the wing of the airplane.
Oh, yes,
and
yes, yes.
only Bart can see
Yes,
it.
yes, yes.
That was the Simpsons
Version
of it.
Oh,
So
okay.
it's been in more modern culture, many different ways.
Yeah.
It was such a staple of horror, I feel. And then I actually remember seeing the Twilight version of it.
Mhm.
And so for me, it was harder to enjoy that because I had all these other ideas already in my brain. But it really deals with your psyche, I think, in a very good way. And then I had misspoken. I had said that it was later 1900s, like 1980s, 1990s.
Mm.
But like I think it was I Am Legend was written like 2007.
Okay.
So, I mean, you have a breadth of work, which is kind of fun through this collection of different parts that he's chosen that he likes of his most.
Okay.
You know, and like I said, sometimes you'll just get like a little snippet. Like I just listened to a story about a little boy who was obsessed with wanting to be a vampire, and I'll just leave it at that. I mean, it's just like all over the place, right?
Okay.
So I know I'm going to enjoy it. I'm going to finish it. I suggest it if you guys are just wanting fun little moments like that. If you did grow up having a special like radio show that you listen to, if you're a golden baddie, you know, one of our golden baddies, you might really enjoy that aspect. But like I said earlier, I think I might get the actual physical book because I know it will creep me out more if I can just peep it before bed and I can hear the voices that my mind comes up with.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But super fun idea.
Have
Super
you
fun.
come across anything that's like a little like super disturbing, or do you think it's like a light touch? Because it sounds more like psychological and I don't want to say fun, but it's just like from an older time.
Yeah.
So it doesn't sound. I mean,
Well, I think it's all I think it can hit you no matter how, like when it comes from.
okay.
Because of how it's presented, it almost seems timeless.
Oh, good.
In that
okay.
sense.
Okay.
However,
Like on 1 to 5, how scary? Like how like is it hard at all?
I'll just be honest. The hardest thing was trying to compare it while reading the Buffalo
Oh,
Hunter
okay.
Hunter.
That
Do you know
makes
what I mean?
sense.
Because
Yeah.
the Buffalo Hunter Hunter is so vividly grotesque,
Yeah.
and then you get into a different type of horror.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I wanted to leave it light. I'm not going to dig too deeply into it. I'm going to finish it, and then next week I'm going to come at you with favorite stories and scariest stories.
Okay. Sounds good.
Yeah, that I can
Scariest.
share with
Okay,
you.
That sounds
But
good.
I haven't gotten exactly the feel that I wanted. I am getting, did you ever watch American Horror Stories?
Yeah.
Okay, I love that stuff. And
Yeah.
I love it around this time of year.
Yeah.
It definitely gives you some of that creep factor.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Which I am enjoying. I'm definitely enjoying.
Okay.
Mhm.
Sounds good.
Thanks, Ashley.
Well, I can't wait to hear more.
I can't wait to hear more about yours.
I
either.
know, I am. I'm really excited about mine. I hope it doesn't disappoint. That's the thing. I'm like just enough into the book where I'm feeling like really hyped on it. So
Okay.
we'll see what happens.
We're not no expectations, and in fact, I was thinking we should do something for our next shared read that's totally like in the other direction, so as not to conflict or, have too much interference
Yeah.
with our current spooky reads, or thrilling reads, I should say.
Yeah.
And I think I mentioned it to you. What do you think we should
Yes.
do you like this idea?
Yeah, I do like this idea. So it's going to be, I mean, we'll see what it's going to be. It's
Let's
going to
just
be
say
a little.
we want to light this candle.
Yes. Smells like she's reading smut again for those who are not watching or who can't see. I'm not sure how clear that will be for us. But yes, so
Oh my
this
God, it smells
next
good.
one
We're just smelling
does smell
candles
good. It's
over
like
here.
rosy. I like that. The next shared read will be a little spicy.
Mhm.
Reviews are saying spicy, but not too spicy. But Katie and I were just discussing the fact that, like, when you're leaving a review on a so-called smut book,
Mhm.
your barometer, your
Yeah.
measurement of smut may not be like our layman measurement. So we'll
Right.
just see how spicy it is.
And we're talking to you, Kimberly.
Yeah, Kimberly. That was just something else, right?
Throwback to one of the earlier episodes.
Yes, you remember the aliens. So by Lana Harper,
Mhm.
by Lana Popovich, but her pen name is Lana Harper. And I did see, like, when I was finding the title, it's under both. So just know it's Lana.
Okay.
Either way.
And what's the title, Ashley?
Payback's a Witch.
I mean, come on, guys. I'm not sure that this is going to entice all audiences. You'll have to read the cover yourself and see if you're interested. But the premise is...
Yeah, it's feeling hallmarky, sort of in the description, but also spicy at the same time.
the
There
girl's
is,
neating it.
yeah, there's our title character who is dealing with an ex, and it sounds like she wants to stir up some trouble for him, and it sounds like she's got friends involved, and like maybe I couldn't quite tell if they've all dated the same guy and they're trying to get back at him.
I mean,
or
is
if
this
she's
kind of like
just-
craft vibes?
It kind of feels like a light craft, like a Kraft
Yeah.
mac and cheese, if you will. So we're gonna see what
Easy Mac.
happens. Yes, Easy Mac. I think this is the thing. It's either going to go like we're
Mhm.
loving it, we're laughing, we're feeling the spice,
Oh,
or,
yeah.
it might just be one of these. We're not required to finish everything. So we'll see what happens.
We're just
It's
going
to
on an
hopefully be
adventure, you
fun.
guys.
Yeah. So Payback's a Witch. I mean, with a title like that,
Come on.
Payback's a Witch by Lana Harper or Popovich, depending on how you're searching.
Okay.
And we'll report back.
Oh, yeah. I mean, what do you hope? What's one thing you hope from this book?
I have two things. I hope. It's gonna be spicy in a way, and like we just need to flip the switch on what we just went through. So I
Yes.
need like a palate cleanse, and I'm hoping that it's a palate cleanse. But I also hope it's kind of funny because,
Me
like,
too.
you know what I mean? This is like just a little bit more about me, but I'm picturing like Gilmore Girls meets like something on Cinemax. I don't know. We'll see.
That's nice. Honestly, that's exactly how I'm feeling right now. Your dreams are my dreams, baby.
Yeah.
This is going to be fun.
Yeah. So what is it?
You can join us for this ride.
Yeah, I was gonna say something in Stars Hollow, which if you're a real Gilmore head, you'll know.
Yep.
But anyway, so that's that on that. We'll see what happens.
And who knows, right? I mean, maybe some of you've already read it. Hopefully you comment or DM or something like that.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
But we also might have to get to a place where we go, okay, guys,
Yeah.
here's the warning.
Yeah.
I'm just hoping, you know what? Different strokes, different folks. Can't wait.
Yeah, we're gonna see. I mean, whatever. Like, we've read books that have had like sexy scenes.
Heck yeah.
This one, it seems like it's a little bit, I don't know, more fun, but
Yeah.
I can't speak on it. We'll just have to wait.
had lots of stars, so we at least are recommending one that has been recommended to the world.
Yeah, exactly.
Can't
So
wait.
we'll see what happens. But thank you guys so much for joining us for
Oh
another
my
episode.
goodness.
I feel tired. I
So
I
tired.
honestly think that the Buffalo Hunter, like most historical fiction, took a lot out
Sucked
of me.
the life out of me.
Yes, pun intended.
Mm-hmm.
Pun intended.
So thank you for that. And can't wait. Gonna keep the spooks going. Gonna keep the artificial intelligence taking over the world.
yeah.
That sounds exciting.
Yeah.
And hopefully a little bit of
We'll see a little
holiday fun.
cinnamon spice. I don't know. We'll see. I don't even know. Witch's brew.
Yeah. we'll be creative for sure the next time we see you guys. So thanks. And also If you aren't subscribed, please make sure you subscribe or follow us on Instagram. That really helps us out, or TikTok. We appreciate all of you guys who are liking and commenting and viewing. It means the world to us so that we can keep doing this.
Yes,
So,
YouTube.
Yep.
We have shorts.
Yeah,
we have longs.
We have longs. We've got shorts, and we are done.
Yeah. Bye-bye.
Bye.